Welcome back to Mathlet 101. I'm your teacher, Mr. Van der Merwe. Still the best, you wouldn't believe it, after day 2. And today we will be discussing area, everything involving area as well as volume. So, first part that we will be discussing is area. And whenever we've got area, we still got our 4 basic shapes that we need to solve. We're going to start off with the rectangle. And for the rectangle you will see it consists out of the length as well as the width. Now for any area you're going to multiply 2 sides with one another. With a rectangle's case, it's the length times the width. Let's look at an example. If I give you this rectangle with the dimensions 5 centimeters and 11 centimeters. For area, we say length times width, 5 times 11, and that will give me 55 centimeters squared. You will see that the unit is in squared form. That's because 2 sides are being multiplied with one another, meaning I've got 2 units that's being multiplied with one another. Centimeters times centimeters will give me squared. Any area, the unit will always be in squared. Similarly for a square got 2 sides, side times side. We can also say this is the length times the width. So if I want to solve this example as given, we're going to be saying 7 times 7, which will give me 49 centimeters squared. In this case it should have actually been meters squared as my unit is meters. Next up we're going to have a triangle. The triangle is the only one where it's a little bit different. So to calculate the area of a triangle we have to say half times the base times the perpendicular height. Now the perpendicular height is formed by the line that goes from the base up to the level of the highest point of the triangle. This will form a 90-degree triangle. Let's look at an example. So you remember from the perimeter videos that I've shown, whenever you see a triangle and it's 90 degrees, always think about Pythagoras. In this example that I've given you, I'm asking you to calculate the area. However, I did not give you the base. How do I know that the base is missing? Because the line that forms a 90-degree angle is the 4 and the A. So I've got the 4, which is then the perpendicular height, but I do not have the A. Hence, I can use Pythagoras. So, to use Pythagoras to solve the flat side, we're going to say a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Or we could have said the flat side minus the slant side minus the flat side. So 5 squared minus 4 squared, which will be 25 minus 16. Thus a squared equals 9. Hence, square root on both sides, a equals 3. Now that I've got the base, now I can actually calculate what my area is. A half times base times height will give me a half times 3 times 4, which means my answer will be 6 squared units. As you can see, there's no units that I've given in the example, so we're going to call it squared units. Then our last basic shape is a circle. This formula, once again, do not get it confused with the perimeter. The area of a circle is pi radius squared. You'll remember I said in the beginning, any area problem has 2 sides that's being 2 lengths that's being multiplied with one another. In this case the radius is being multiplied twice, hence radius squared. Let's look at an example. So I'm giving you that the radius is 6 centimeters. We know that the formula is pi radius squared. So to calculate the area, I'm going to say pi times 6 squared, or pi times 36, because 6 squared is 36. That will then give me an answer of 113,04 centimeters squared. Right, going on to volume. Whenever we're going to volume, our shapes will be 3-dimensional, as you can see there. And there's a very easy way to solve the volume. For any shape, we simply multiply the area with the height. That's all you need to do. In the example that I've given a little snout of a dog. I've put that sticker in front. That's going to be my area that I'm calculating. That area will fit throughout the entire height, or you can sometimes call it the depth, of my rectangular prism. So to calculate the volume for this, I'll simply say the area times the height. What's the area for a square? Length times width. Then to get the volume, length times width times the height. Area times height. So it's clearly summed up here in this table. Our 4 basic shapes. So to calculate the area for a square or a rectangle, we're going to say length times breadth. That will give me the area. To get that volume, guess what? Area times height. For a triangle, for the area, we're going to say half times base times height. And for the volume, it's going to be area times height. For a circle, pi radius squared will give you the area. And you wouldn't believe it, but for the volume, once again, it's going to be area times height. Right, so if we look at this cylinder, we're going to solve the volume for it. I'm giving to you that the height of the cylinder is 10 centimeters and the radius is 2 centimeters. If I want to solve it, I know that I need to first of all calculate the area. Once I've got the area, then I can calculate the volume. Let's look at the calculations. So, volume, area times height. But I first need to calculate the area. It's in bold. So, pi radius squared will give me the area. Hence, I said pi times 2 squared as the radius was given as 2. That will then give me 12,57 centimeters squared. Now that I've got the area, I can simply substitute it into my volume formula. 12,57 times 10, area times height, which will give me 125,7 centimeters cubed. Do you notice that the unit changed to cube now? Because there's 3 lengths that we are multiplying. Area had 2, height had another one, that gives me 3, hence my unit needs to be cubed. The last topic that we want to discuss today is surface area. Now, I've given you a cube down here. To calculate the surface area, we need to add all the faces on the outside. Now what I did is, on the cube I placed stickers on each side. You will see as it's spinning around. We've got the hypnotic circle, we had a planet, there's a kitty cat, it's a ninja I think, we've got a little cloud, that's the eye, that looks like a cat eye, coming back into the star as well as the planet. 6 different stickers that I've got on this cube. So if I wanted to calculate the surface area for this cube, I had to calculate the area for the hypnotic circle part, I had to calculate the area for the planet part, to calculate the area for the star part, and so forth, and then at the end of the day I add them all up. There is some shortcuts that we can use. For example, my cube got 6 identical sides. So if I calculate the area of one of them, I can simply multiply it by 6 to give me the final answer. Let's look at an example. Calculate the surface area for this triangular prism. So I'm giving you the following dimensions of the triangular prism. The base of the red triangle is 6 centimeters. The perpendicular height is 4 centimeters. The height or the depth of the triangular prism is 10 centimeters. And then the slant side of the triangle is 5 centimeters. Now you will note here that I opened up my triangular prism into a 2D net. Once I've opened it up, I can see, alright, I've got 2 triangles, that's the same. I've got the bottom part of the triangular prism, which is in green, and I had the 2 sides, which is in yellow. So if I want to solve it, I simply need to calculate the area of these different colors, which we can do. For the green part, which is a rectangle, it's easy, length times the width or times the breadth. 10 times 6, which will give me 60. For the yellow part, you will see I only calculated it once because both of the yellow parts are identical in size. So I say 10 times 5. And then for the red part, I showed the calculation on the bottom right. It's a half times the base times the perpendicular height. So I said half times 6 times 4, which will give me 12. Now I've got the area for all of the faces. To calculate surface area, simply add all the sides, the faces that we've got, which will give me 12 plus 12, the 2 rectangles, plus 50 plus 50, the 2 yellow rectangles, plus 60, the green bottom part, which was also a rectangle, which will give me a total of 184 centimeters squared. Remember, anything to do with squared is always in squared form. So that's it for today's lesson. I will be seeing you soon again, and good luck with the work.